Alright, Halox here, back in my basement, and I got here with me a package from Dan, Anakin Starkiller on the forums, and this is his new V2 V3 Builders Kit. So I figured I'd do an unboxing and show you how well he sends all of his stuff. So with this kit, you have the ability to build either the V2 or the V3. And his first V2 run, the FX run, was really successful, and a lot of people missed out. So this was their chance to get another one. Look how well everything is packed. There should be two kits in here. I don't know if they're both in the same box, but he's got everything here. The D-ring, the beautiful cone knob where the knurling matches the original, because you can still get these cone knobs today, but the knurling has been changed. And it looks like some extra long 3mm grub screws in there. That's different from the other run. So we got, yep, good. So there should be two kits in here. Oh wow. Oh, we're getting there. There's a pommel. Another pommel. This has got to be a booster. Ring section. Oh, so two ring sections, and these have to be the emitters. Alright, so empty box. I'm going to try and unwrap this stuff quick because of the time. But see, he wraps it in this foam stuff to protect it, and he also wraps it in this cellophane. I'm very curious about the emitter. It actually smells like some kind of oil. Like it came out of a machine shop. It actually smells like it came out of my father's garage in the city. It smells like gear oil. Here's the nipple. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Burning time here. Wow, really nice. Really, 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 really nice. It's got some weight to it compared to the FX version. Oh, I get it. Oh, Dan, that's genius. That's actually genius. So that's why we have a longer 3mm screw, because it threads all the way through into the nipple. So that way you have the correct orientation of the screws on top. Really, really, really smart thinking. Really good. Wow. Very, very nice. And also, I guess because there is a little recess inside here, so with having the set screw go all the way through, where you have that recess, that was really, really smart thinking. Okay, so you really don't need to see me unwrap all of this stuff. So I'm going to unwrap a kit, and then we'll throw it together. So let me unwrap this, and I'll be right back. While unwrapping some of the packages, I got to the booster, and the shop now has this mirror smooth. The first run, it wasn't a really big deal. You could sand it by hand with some sandpaper and go like that. But this booster is really, really smooth. That's another bonus. I've actually grabbed a paper towel with some rubbing alcohol, because it seems like some of these parts are still oiled from the shop. But not the end of the world. But very, very smooth, very, very sharp. So the unwrapping continues. Okay, so I had some time to fool around. And so you're going to need, to assemble this, you're going to need a 1.5mm Allen wrench and a 2mm Allen wrench, and your bag full of goodiness. So we're going to need, first we're going to get our two 3mm screws. Can we see this where I am? No. Let me over here. I got the small, use the D-ring to hold everything, put the 2mm in there. Okay, so you want the two small 3mm screws. We're going to put them in the nipple. These go on the top. These will hold the nipple bung. Put it upside down. Oops. Is this in frame? Okay, so now we got that. We're going to put this, lining these threaded screw holes up with the threaded screw hole in the emitter. You're going to need the two long 3mm screws. This is an ingenious, this design. Okay, I don't think I have it lined up correctly. We're going to go this way. Nope. Wait, oh yeah, got to go way up. Got it now. Put the other side in. Perfect. The emitter is complete. Dun, 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 dun. Next, we're going to take one of the 2mm screws. This is much simpler than the last setup. He supplied one longer one, and people are confused which goes where. So this was a good idea, supplying two the same size. It does its job. So you put one 2mm in there, and then we'll put the emitter on the rings. Actually, before I do that, I swear by this grease. We're going to put this on there just for the heck of it. That's all you need. This stuff right here, I swear by it. It's waterproof. I put it on all my bike pedals. Never have I had a problem taking bike pedals off, and if you're a cyclist, you know how hard it is sometimes when those pedals lock up. And I've never had a problem using this stuff, so really good stuff. So now that the emitter is attached to the rings, lock that on. We're going to clock it. If you're doing a V2, you want the 2mm grub screw lined up in the center of this pommel cube. The pommel cube right to the D-ring pommel cube. Come on, you stinker. I'm so used to looking at acid burned V2s, all weathered and banged up. It's great to actually hold a clean one again. Beautiful work. Booster is polished. It's beautiful. Absolutely stunning. The wind vane, nobody has made this kind of angle on the wind vane yet, except Dan. See that? I'd love to see the machine CNC this. It's a beautiful setup. Yep, so if you're doing a V2, grub screw lined up with this pommel cube. If you're doing a V3, you simply don't put the blade plug in, the nipple in. And I don't know if this is correct on screen, because the photos we have of it in the ranch, that thing's been seriously molested with tape, and it's just hideous. And it's in this orientation right now at the ranch. So it's the pommel cube, one pommel cube left of the D-ring, kind of in the center of this channel. That's how it is right now. The Risen Cast picture we have of it from the Wired article. We got a good view of the D-ring here, but so we can't see where the grub screw is holding it in. But in the ranch we have this grub screw and a second hole covered in tape. Don't get me going on that. But yeah, I just want to thank Dan for supplying us with these. I'm gonna make myself a V3 now. Been wanting one for a long time, and thanks to Dan we can do that now. So absolutely stunning. The machine work is out of this world, as always with Dan and his runs. I mean, I believe everything is exactly the same. He changed some dimension in here to make up for some space in the rings. But other than that, I mean, everything is exactly the same. He just had to remove some material here to make it work. It should be the same exact height as a FX V2 that he supplied previously this year. But another cool thing too is you simply cut off the threads here, and you can attach it with a rod and put a little you can put a bearing in there, and you can have the emitter spin. If you missed out on his spinning emitter run, you can do this very easily with this. For the V2, the cone knob needs to be drilled in a certain area, and I'm working up a tutorial, but I don't want to post that until I have Dan's permission. I'm working on a tutorial on how to easily put the cone knob and mystery chunk in with simply paper and a tape measure. So be on the lookout for that. Same thing with the screws in the emitter. I've come up with a way to. I want this way to be the cheapest and easiest way, so you don't need like a shed full of tools. I mean, you can do this with stuff that a person has around the house. You might have to spend the minimum of like $10 in material if you don't have a tape measure or a piece of angle iron, and you'll be able to put the V3 holes in and the mystery chunk and cone knob in. Don't be intimidated. It's not that hard. If Dan wants me to throw that video up, I can, and help you guys do that. It's very, very easy. Just patience, and I'll take you there. So again, thanks to Dan, Anakin Starkiller. I have another V2 and V3 to my collection. I really appreciate it. So that pretty much wraps it up. Be on the lookout for a V3 tutorial coming soon. Thanks, guys.